Good evening, everybody. Welcome inside the Wells Fargo Center for the Flyers Cup AAA Final here on SFBN. Bob Long, TJ Lasik alongside Bill Kaiser at ice level. We'll check in with him shortly. TJ, it's LaSalle College High School against St. Joseph's Preparatory School. One of the great rivalries in southeastern Pennsylvania high school taken to the ice here this evening. LaSalle, the number 1 seed overall. They've had a great year, haven't lost yet in the APAC. St. Joe's Prep struggled a little bit in the APAC, but again, a very high level of hockey that they've played all year long. Got it done when it matters. Beat the 3 seed Cardinal O'Hara 4-0, took down Malvern Prep, and here they are facing off against their arch rival. No better way to do it here on a Sunday night in South Philadelphia.
Absolutely, yeah. I expect to see 2 good hockey teams out here tonight. At this point, the regular season doesn't matter. I expect both teams to come out, play hard, and anyone can win on any given night.
That's absolutely true. As LaSalle, the Explorers this year have an unbelievable top line. Sam Lipkin leads the way, Daniel Sambuco as well, Michael Casey. It's going to be a tough battle for Troy Stefano in net for St. Joe's Prep, who's really stepped up. As we mentioned, didn't give up a goal against Cardinal O'Hara. It's been him kind of making that difference for St. Joe's Prep, as well as some of the depth on their lines. This is a St. Joe's Prep team that now has the opportunity to play at the greatest venue, of course, in this area, the Wells Fargo Center, home of the Philadelphia Flyers. And this is all you can really ask for. Now we have introductions down there on the ice.
Neither can we.
Well, the stage has been set the best way possible. Lauren Hart on the mic and Gritty cascading down the concourse. Bob Long, TJ Lasig, and now we're going to send it down to the third member of our broadcast team, Bill Kaiser, at ice level.
Hey guys, how you doing up there? This is a great atmosphere down here. Both teams are fired up. They're ready to go. Now, St. Joe's Prep, the number 6 seed, they're really looking forward to get out ahead. You know, they're going to pressure LaSalle quick and fast, put some shots on net really quick. But what LaSalle has to do is, LaSalle's the number 1 seed. They're going to actually come in tonight, and they're going to actually put a lot of pressure on St. Joe's. Guys, it's really wild down here.
Appreciate you being down there, Bill. We'll be checking back in with him over the course of the game. TJ, a couple of the guys on St. Joe's Prep team, a couple of their top point scorers are actually on the defensive side. Vincent Borghese, a guy that can wind up and slap it with the best of them. He's going to be really setting the tone at the point, and I think an early forecheck is going to be important for St. Joe's to really attack a LaSalle team that has a ton of speed, and if you give them that open ice, can be so dangerous.
No doubt, a defenseman that can put up points is always a dangerous player to have out there on the ice. Look for him to lead the way for his St. Joe's team tonight.
Aiden McCabe was the guy in net in an absolutely spectacular comeback for LaSalle against Holy Ghost Prep. They trailed still with 30 seconds left in that game. McCabe was on the bench at that point, but kept them in it with 4 saves on pure breakaways that really kept them in the game, and then 2 late goals in the final 30 seconds gave LaSalle that win. St. Joe's Prep defeated Malvern Prep to get to this game, and here it is, one of the best rivalries in the area. LaSalle against St. Joseph's Prep. LaSalle in the white uniform, St. Joe's Prep in the maroon. Back behind the net, Jan Olenjinski sends it, and that'll find its way past his intended recipient, and it will be an icing in the early stages of this one. TJ, one of the differences between the high school and the college level is, and beyond up to the NHL, is that you can switch and change lines after an icing. It's something that, again, is a strategic element, we'll say, that if there is a tired line out there, why not just fire it down the ice, changes it a little bit.
Yeah, definitely. Big difference here between high school and college levels.
Turning with it now, number 2, Fab Mazzarelli. Pumped right back in by St. Joseph's Prep. First to get it is Olenjinski. Nice job there by number 6 for St. Joe's Prep. Mark Stahl sends it back behind the net. Olenjinski back behind there, trying to get rid of it. It was in the back end of the net. So now we get a whistle with 16:19 to play here in the first period. 17-minute periods at the high school level. We won't get an ice cut in between the first and second periods. Then in between the second and third, we will get that ice cut. We're going to chew up this ice at this NHL venue. Interesting to see how that will affect this hockey game as well. Good work here by Frank Veretti back behind the net. Austin Amato in there as well. Far side boards, LaSalle is in on it. Nathan Benner. It comes in and sticked wide there by Aiden McCabe in net. Veretti sends it back behind the net. First to get there, Sean Keaveney for the LaSalle Explorers pumps it up and into the neutral zone. Coming onto the stick now of Nathan Benner, and it's sent all the way down behind the ice, or behind the netting, I should say. St. Joe's Prep tries to whack it behind. It does come onto the stick of Austin Amato. Amato at the red line and gives it away. Poked forward and not out. LaSalle still working to get that clearance. And Amato in there strong on the forecheck. Veretti couldn't get it to his intended recipient, and here's the speed of the Explorers. 2-on-2. Shot. Save made in net there. Good work by Stefano. Amato will turn right back up the ice. Into the neutral zone he comes, gobbled up, so instead just dumps it down, and he'll come off the ice. Andrew Budzinski was in there on a big hit. That one was sticked wide there. Might have been going wide, but McCabe didn't take any chances. Now back behind the net, Colin Kleiser. Kleiser holds along the near side boards and now flicks it upward. Good work there. Onside are the Explorers, turning, and they can't get the shot off. Good stick check in there by number 80, Brody Plord. And now they'll turn it back up by St. Joe's Prep gets a touch. That'll avoid the icing and a full line change for the Hawks. Daniel Sambuco, one of the heroes in Thursday night's win against Holy Ghost Prep, sent across. Nobody was there. Pretty good defense there, and the captain able to fire it up into the neutral zone. This pops high into the LaSalle offensive zone and comes onto the stick of number 20, Nicholas Chiampiti. That one sent all the way down. Aiden McCabe turns with it. First to it, though, number 56, Evan Cassidy. Plucked back behind the net by the Explorers. Kleiser sends it off the glass, and one more touch into the neutral zone. 14:08 to play, scoreless. Here from the Wells Fargo Center, fighting for possession. St. Joe's Prep has it. Sent ahead and punched forward there by Cassidy. Cassidy, the top point leader for St. Joe's Prep in terms of goals and assists this year. Again, their leading point getter is a defenseman, Borghese. But Cassidy's had a great year as well. Matthew Moresco takes it behind his own net, flings it forward, and with an extra touch, will not be able to find its way out. LaSalle, nice job at the point working to keep that in. Now Lipkin has to find his way back into the play, though, and it's punched ahead. Amato takes the shot. Couldn't be controlled there, but the rebound safely whisked aside. Now another shot through a lot of traffic, went wide. One more off-angle shot was blocked by Olajinsky for LaSalle, and now the Explorers very desperate to clear it out of the zone, unable to do so. Austin Amato on the far side boards, nudged in there. And now LaSalle will be able to carry it to center ice. Into the offensive zone, shot was blocked there. Still an opportunity here for the Explorers. Max Levenberg plays it back to the point. Not a ton on it. Right in front of the shot and score! Brandon, the leader of the goal scorer. And the Explorers get the first goal of the night.
Just a matter of a guy being in front, finding the puck, and putting it in.
Wasn't a ton there in terms of offensive attackers for LaSalle. The puck just popped over the stick of a St. Joe's Prep defenseman. The leader, right time, right place, right in front of the net. Now let's send it down to Bill Kaiser, down on ice level.
Hey guys, how you doing? On that goal, what happened was LaSalle took the zone, but they were actually offsides, and the referee let that go. I mean, really, it shouldn't have been a goal, but as a coach and other coaches out there, that's usually when a goal is scored, when it should have been an offsides.
Explorers lead 1-0. As there's a hit into the sideboards now right in front. Another opportunity. Backhand won't get on net. Good stick lift there by St. Joe's Prep. Now they'll turn on it. Up ice and couldn't find the intended recipient. St. Joe's Prep will get the change on that play. Up the ice, number 22, Ryan Ferry, played it up. Taken down on the play, number 19, Daniel Sambuco for LaSalle. Explorers still have possession. Michael Casey turns with it. And now played back for Kleiser, who will carry it in on his own. Turns. He had his teammate there, couldn't quite find him. Number 3, Sam Lipkin. Lipkin had the game winner on Thursday night, and it pops up and into the glove of Stefano. Bill, did you happen to see who was offside on the play? We didn't catch it up here.
No, I actually didn't see it. I'm just sitting here right at the blue line, and it looked like the LaSalle player was in the zone way before the puck carrier brought the puck in the zone.
Interesting there. Certainly, when you have something like that shrouding the first goal, St. Joe's Prep a little bit more aggressiveness, intensity to get back into the game. Still very early, 11:52 to play. LaSalle 1, St. Joe's Prep nothing in the Flyers Cup final. The icing will bring it back into the LaSalle offensive zone, and Michael Casey will take the face-off for the Explorers. It's controlled by St. Joe's Prep. Punched forward there by Richard Stahl. Sent right back in by the Explorers. St. Joe's Prep back behind the net. Good work on the forecheck by the Explorers, but now the Hawks have control. A long pass got the stick of an Explorer, but then punched all the way back behind the Explorer defensive net. That one rolled over the stick of the Explorers. Opportunity in front for St. Joe's Prep. Stahl had a stick on it, but really no opportunity to get that shot on net. The Explorers turn it back up ice. This is the sophomore, Sam Lipkin. Lipkin tried to pull it through, and a penalty is going to be called, a tripping, as Jan Olajinsky crashed the net. and put a lot of pressure on the Hawks there, TJ.
Yeah, great speed by LaSalle, forcing the defense to make a tough play there. Ends up going to the box. Now we get to see that powerful LaSalle power play at action here.
And if you're St. Joe's Prep, this becomes already an essential penalty kill. Down the 1 goal already. Little less than 6 minutes into this one. LaSalle struggled on the power play last time out against Holy Ghost Prep. In fact, gave up a short. He didn't score one on the power play. They do now, though. That was quick. Ryan Ferry, the junior, puts it short side past Troy Stefano, and the Explorers, a power play goal, lead 2-0.
Great play off the draw there. Win it back to the D. Simple D to D. Finds the guy on the backside, and he puts it home.
Bill Kaiser, ice side. What'd you see on that goal?
They set it up. They worked it out to the point. The point went D to D. And actually, they slid it in top of the hash mark, and he was all alone, and he shelved it. It was a beautiful shot.
If you're Troy Stefano, it's the one you're going to be looking back on. You can't get beat short side there from the edge of the circle. And the Explorers lead 2-0 here in the Flyers Cup final at the Wells Fargo Center. The winner of this game will play in the Pennsylvania State Championship against the winner of the Penguins Cup, Peters Township against North Allegheny, to take place later this week. Now St. Joe's Prep into the LaSalle zone. Great pass right across the ice, and McCabe was out of position. The follow could not go. They'll work it back to the point, winding, firing. That one was sent from the blocker of McCabe to the backboards, very comfortably and controlled. This one flipped high onto the stick of Andrew Centrella. Centrella plays it across for Vincent Borghese, and Borghese will just flip it back in. Full change for St. Joe's Prep. LaSalle gets a few guys to the bench. Lipkin has it at the blue line, punches it back behind the net. Not a ton of speed on that one, but LaSalle able to keep it into the zone. Pinching at the top is Fab Mazzarelli, dropping off for Lipkin, drop back off in front, and another goal! This time it's Michael Casey. And the Explorers controlled that one. Mazzarelli to Lipkin, and Michael Casey in between the circles finishes it off.
What a start here by LaSalle.
TJ on that one, LaSalle able to, one, forecheck, keep that puck in. Fab Mazzarelli, a great pinch there, understanding the time and the space. And then that tic-tac-toe passing between he, Lipkin, and then finally Casey. That's a thing of beauty.
Yeah, all starts with hard work on the forecheck, beating a player to the puck, winning that battle, getting it right out to the slot. Great goal.
Bill Kaiser sitting right on that blue line. I tell you, that's the right offensive zone, at least in this period. What'd you see on that one?
They actually, LaSalle came out tonight with a different game plan than they did against Holy Ghost. They did some changes over the last couple of days, and they came out on fire. I don't know if you guys seen this from above, but actually St. Joe's is warming up a different goalie right now.
That's right. Daniel McGill. So they've pulled Troy Stefano just 6 minutes and 53 seconds into the game. Face-off control by St. Joe's Prep. LaSalle a 3-0 lead. They have possession on the near side boards. Punched ahead there by Andrew Budzinski. Out into the neutral zone. And a big hit there. But again, hanging in the defender. Big play there by St. Joe's Prep to prevent a 2-on, potentially none, as he was going down and took out the offensive player with him. On the near side boards, Budzinski is in there. It's punched around by St. Joe's Prep. Sean Keaveney back behind. Punch forward again by Budzinski. He's had a good shift thus far. St. Joe's Prep turns on it well. Now on the stick of Michael Urbani. Couldn't find his intended recipient, Amato. Good move there by the defense for LaSalle. Tipped up at the red line. That'll wave off any potential icing. Turning on it now, number 23, Andrew Centrella, but he lost the puck. Pinching, and a shot comes right through. Save made. The first look for Daniel McGill, and he was up to task. That one was fired into the neck area of Stahl, able to hang in the play, but then punched all the way back by the LaSalle Explorers. St. Joe's Prep, a long pass, finds the stick of Stahl, can't really control it, but now St. Joe's Prep is in the LaSalle zone. At the point, sending back behind the net, Evan Cassidy, and this one will find its way out of the zone. LaSalle with possession. It's a 2-on-2. This is Casey dropping it off. And a good back check that time, really all the way trailing by the St. Joe's Prep Hawks, I should say. And up to the red line, punched ahead. LaSalle still with possession. They lead the 3-0. 8:26 to play. Touched up at the red line. St. Joe's Prep will turn it back behind their own net. LaSalle a half change. Flicked high, near to the red line. LaSalle has possession for the moment. 5 guys in on the scrum. And St. Joe's Prep comes out with it. Matthew Moresco with a backhand off the boards. Didn't get to his intended recipient. Now a turnover. And St. Joe's Prep very fortunate. LaSalle to the red line. Sent back ahead. McGill got a stick on it. LaSalle in there on the forecheck. Wrapped around back to the point. Here's Keaveney. Keaveney sends it right back behind the net. Nicholas Chiampiti able to clear it for St. Joe's Prep, but again, still unable to really maintain any possession or opportunities in the offensive zone. That one was released just a few steps from the red line, so will be an icing with 7:25 to play here in the first period. So TJ McGill comes in, makes one decent save there, certainly on an opportunity for LaSalle where they could have extended the lead, and sometimes that first save is the most important when you're coming in for a guy who's been pulled.
Absolutely. Always good to get that first save in, and sometimes the goalie change is just about changing up the spark for that team, providing that extra push you need to make this comeback.
Amato won the face-off, and the shot nearly found its way into the net through a lot of traffic and through a deflection. Now Sam Lipkin has it for LaSalle. He'll fire it wide of the net. St. Joe's Prep sends it down past Olenjinski, and this will come up short of icing. It's waved off. Jan Olenjinski doing his best, though, kind of laboring down the ice, perhaps to elicit that call. Referee saw better of it. That one flipped along the near side boards. Pretty good hit into the side boards. Popped in by St. Joe's Prep. And curled behind for LaSalle. Lipkin, good move. Dropped off for Casey. Lipkin's going to get it back. 3-on-2. Lipkin pulls it. Brings it right in. He flipped it too high. Boy, able to curl it onto his stick right into the crease area. I tell you, usually the problem there is that you can't lift the puck high enough. That time, just a little bit too much on the lift, TJ.
That's a great individual effort there by Lipkin. Just a real nice move around the defender. Just over the net.
Face-off will come back outside the zone. That puck was not tipped off the stick of Sam Lipkin. St. Joe's Prep curls it behind. Andrew Centrella will carry it. Centrella across the blue line, now to the red line, and punches it forward. McCabe out of his net, able to get a stick on it and sent back to the point. Craig sends it right back in. Nobody there for St. Joe's Prep. LaSalle on that pinching Craig defenseman, able to get it out. Centrella, a long pass, eludes the stick, and this will be an icing. No, they're going to wave off the icing. I didn't think there was a touch, but they say there could have been, and there's no icing called, so now LaSalle comes back the other way. Colin Kleiser. Kleiser carries it. Brings it through a defender. Got it right on net. Save made there by McGill. Brandon Lear, he scored the first goal for LaSalle. Taken off the puck. And now James Craig plays it off the ice, and it's punched in by LaSalle. Not a great pass, TJ. Didn't have a ton on it. And St. Joe's Prep just struggling at this point to connect on those cross-ice passes.
Yeah, LaSalle defenseman doing a good job of stepping up and breaking up those plays.
Here's Vincent Borghese. He's been quiet here tonight, but again, the team's leading point scorer. Dumped in by St. Joe's Prep. Everybody but James Craig goes to the bench. So a fresh line for the Hawks. Carried on now by LaSalle. In between the circles. Now to the goal line and behind it. Thought about. A shot there, but it does come, and it's patted wide there by Daniel McGill. Nearly that wraparound opportunity. And I think if he just went with it, could have had that opportunity to put it in, as McGill was a little late getting to that far side post. Michael Casey flips it high. It's intercepted by Amato. Amato in the middle of the ice punches it forward. They were looking for Verratti, and Verratti couldn't find it. Jan Olenjinski. He takes it all himself. Gets to the goal line off angle shot. McGill was there, and it's flipped high along the backboards. Olenjinski off for Lipkin. Backhand able to get it onto the stick of Mazzarelli and shovels it forward. Mazzarelli gets it back at the point. Over for Olenjinski. A shot is blockered wide. And McGill has made his first 4 or 5 saves in the net after the change. St. Joe's Prep now looking for a clear. Nicholas Corrado does. And an offside. So St. Joe's Prep's going to have to touch up. That's when I thought, TJ, we might have seen a whistle right away.
Yeah, close one there, Bob.
Sent back behind the net. McGill didn't get a great touch on it. St. Joe's Prep looking for the clear, and now they will. This is Stahl chasing after the puck. Back behind the net. Here's James Craig. Craig gives it away. Punch forward. LaSalle looking for possession, and they have it. At the goal line. Dropped off in front. A shot goes just high and wide. Again, they dump it off. Back behind the net. LaSalle looking for possession, and they do. A backhand. Puck is still loose, and now it's covered up, and they're going at it. Bodies flying all around the crease. Send it to Bill here. Bill looked to me like St. Joe's Prep didn't take too kindly to LaSalle, and LaSalle play until the whistle. What'd you see?
Yeah, absolutely. What's happening here is St. Joe's is starting to play with a little heart. They're down 3-0, so if they go near the goalie, they want to protect their goalie, and they're going after anybody. But if you notice, LaSalle's defensemen were smart. They stayed high up in the zone. They didn't go down and get involved in that ruckus, because if them 2 defensemen come down, now the face-off actually goes outside.
Face-off will stay, though, in the offensive zone for LaSalle. Eric Ford will take the face-off. And now, before we do, as they reset the net, conversation between Ryan Ferry and that official. LaSalle wins the faceoff. Shot from Kleiser was deflected in front. Played back to the point. 2 LaSalle Explorers in there. Nobody comes up with the puck. James Craig up the boards for St. Joe's Prep. McGill has to come out and go work with the stick there by the goaltender for the Hawks. A fight for possession now. LaSalle has it, and they'll flip it right back in. First to it, number 23, Andrew Centrella. Centrella plays across for Borghese. Borghese, a flip high, again onto the stick of Kleiser. They can't find ways to go tape to tape, at least not thus far. And LaSalle all too comfortable to fire it back into the St. Joe's Prep zone. Here's Borghese playing up to Centrella. Centrella, good look there. Olenjinski goes down, and the Prep had possession. But they dump it in. They needed a change. 3 guys go to the bench. Now fresh legs as LaSalle is going to turn on it. Michael Casey along the near side boards. Casey sent right across. Didn't find a home. Fab Mazzarelli played back and couldn't find his man Sambuco, but a stick lift and a shot right in front. Michael Casey laid out. Got a tip on it, but not on net. Olenjinski, another shot. That one was deflected and went just wide. Mazzarelli on the pinch. Lipkin on the puck. Played back to the slot. Patience. Now a shot is blockered wide there by McGill. And St. Joe's Prep gets a much-needed clearance. 2 minutes left in the first period. LaSalle a 3-0 lead over St. Joe's Prep. Flyers Cup final. And it looks like offside. A little surprised to see that offside there, TJ, as number 56, Evan Cassidy, was just hanging out right at the blue line, but I guess had his left skate in the zone.
Yeah, now LaSalle will get an offensive zone draw here. St. Joe's really going to have to find an answer to this LaSalle forecheck. They're having trouble getting the puck out of their zone.
You know, maybe what it was and what it likely was, based on the spot of the faceoff, was an icing. But I could have sworn that Cassidy got a stick on it. Apparently not. Kleiser takes the shot into the catching glove of Daniel McGill. And more extracurriculars going on in between the circles. This time it's Frank Verratti and Brian Evans. And let's send it down to Bill.
On that last play, the reason why it did come down, it wasn't an icing, it was actually an offsides. He was offsides when he touched the puck, so that's why they brought it back down.
And a high stick. Penalty going to be called against the Explorers. This will be Andrew Budzinski. Nicholas Corrado took it to the face. Bill, right in front of you. .117 to play here, first period. And St. Joe's Prep has their first opportunity on the power play. TJ, from what you've seen of the St. Joe's Prep team, I mean, what do you think can work on this power play, and what's the key here?
If I'm St. Joe's, I'm just looking to keep things simple, get pucks up to the point, get pucks to the net with traffic, try to get an ugly one. At this point, minute 20 left in the period, goal would be huge. Go cut that gap to 2 goals.
They have actually had, to your point, TJ, a few looks through traffic with a deflection, just haven't found their way on net. And I do think that keeping that simple is absolutely the point here, as some of the tape-to-tape passes haven't been ideal, but they have gotten a few shots that just haven't found a way into the net. Up to the point. Patience, now a shot by Borghese, and he scores! TJ Lasig, I think you called it, my friend. St. Joe's Prep on the board.
That's exactly what they had to do there. Work the puck low, win the battle, get it up top to their leading scorer. Puck goes in the back of the net.
Bill Kaiser at ice level. A lot of traffic in front that time for the Hawks, and that's pretty exquisite on the power play.
Yeah, absolutely. St. Joe's actually set that up perfectly. They had a lot of people in the front of the net creating a lot of havoc, and they kicked it out to the point, and it was a great shot right in on net.
So, 2 power plays thus far. I think we've seen, 15 seconds of penalty action thus far in terms of a 5-on-4. LaSalle scored about 8 seconds in, and St. Joe's Prep very similarly is a huge hit is delivered there by Fab Mazzarelli. Richard Stahl a little bit slow to get up. Now Daniel Sambuco carries across the blue line. To the goal line now, and back behind it, dropped off for Lipkin. Lipkin with control. Back for Olajinski. He'll try it again, put it on the ice, and it was saved there. Got all the way to McGill. Mazzarelli sent it across, nobody there. Olajinski, I think, thinks better of it instead of pinching, and LaSalle gets that possession right back. Past the Flyers logo, Olajinski, as LaSalle gets a change, able to hold that puck up, and that is now the end of the first period. So St. Joe's scores in the final minute, got a little bit of momentum back, and cuts it to 3-1. Good period of ice hockey here at the Wells Fargo Center. The Flyers Cup final here on SFBN. Bob Long, TJ Lasig, Bill Kaiser down there on the ice. We'll take a break and come right back.
Barnaby's, where good sports come to meet. A perfect place to take the family, catch the game, and enjoy great food. With friends, after work, anytime is a great time to go to Barnaby's. Burgers, wings, and award-winning crab cakes, signature sandwiches and salads. And don't forget the starters. You can't go to Barnaby's without trying the cheesesteak egg rolls. Barnaby's in Ridley, Havertown, Aston, and nestled in the great historic downtown area of Westchester. You gotta get down here.
Second period about to commence here from the Wells Fargo Center. The Flyers Cup Final, live on SFBN. Your broadcast crew, Bob Long, TJ Lasig up here in the booth. Bill Kaiser down there on the ice. Julian Bellman doing a great job on production this evening. Really the pinnacle of high school hockey, the opportunity to play here at the Wells Fargo Center. LaSalle started with 3 goals in the first 6 minutes to take that lead. St. Joe's Prep countered with a goal in the final minute on the power play. And now have that little bit of momentum coming into the second. Jan Olajinsky, he's had a lot of minutes thus far, TJ, and he's been good on defense. They play it up for Casey out beyond his stick. He'll chase it at the goal line. St. Joe's Prep very well, takes him off the puck. Turning, though, and back to the point, not out. Lipkin turns, fires, and that one was wide on the short side. And St. Joe's Prep clears it. They're going to wave off the icing, obviously comes up well short. And Olajinsky comes up with it at the blue line. Flipped ahead. Lipkin. Now Sambuco. Sambuco tries to run through the defender. Well done there by Nicholas Corrado. Lipkin has it now. Forces the turnover. Sent in front. They bat away at it, and it's still loose. Now Eric Ford. Drops it off on the near side. Gets it right back. Makes one miss. Sent in front, and this bounces to the blue line and will find its way out. Nolan Woodenberg sent it down back behind the net. First to get there, Nicholas Ciampiti. Ciampiti sends it back behind. Nicholas Corrado not going to get there. Eric Ford has it for the Explorers of LaSalle.
You can see St. Joe's looking to hang a forward high here, mixing things up a bit.
Nathan Benner in there on the forecheck. St. Joe's Prep has it and clears it. Sent right back in there by Sean Keaveney, and LaSalle able to get that change. Woodenberg comes up with it. Popped up high by number 24, Brian Evans. And sent back by St. Joe's Prep, and icing with 15:06 to play here in the second period. Face-off in the LaSalle offensive zone. Head coach of LaSalle College High School is Wally Muehlbrenner. He's been a coach for a long time as a shot comes in. Save made there by McGill as he squares it up. David Jockum in the head coach for St. Joe's Prep. Prep has an opportunity in front. It's loose. McCabe comes out and covers it up. Aggressive play by the netminder for LaSalle and prevents a would-be scoring opportunity for St. Joe's Prep.
That's what St. Joe's Prep needs to be doing. Get the puck to the net, attack the net. Great save by the tender.
McCabe hasn't been asked to do much. There was a save that you saw, a goal that you certainly can't fault him for through a ton of traffic, and besides that, hasn't been asked of all that much, but that was a big one there. Tripping over the legs of the official is Brian Evans. Back behind the net. Now the Explorers have it. Turning with it now is David Budzinski. Budzinski tries to wrap it around. Couldn't get it on the net. Good job there by McGill as well to hold that post. Now out to center ice. Turned ahead by number 17, David Bruner, and gave it away. Craig is in there, as is number 23, Andrew Centrella. Centrella is going to chase his own dump. That comes to the point, not out. There's a big whiff of snow coming out as number 77, Richard Stahl, looked to take that shot and put it on net. You're starting to see that here. TJ, without that ice cut, the boards, as that's a huge hit in the center of the ice. Budzinski goes down. Richard Stahl delivered a huge hit. But you're starting to see how the game can change, and a cross-check is going to send Brian Evans to the bench as he took down Richard Stahl. Let's send it down to Bill.
All right, guys, as you can see, St. Joe's put a great hit on actually LaSalle, and the fans went crazy. And I guess what happens is, as hockey players, they feed into it, and they heard them fans get crazy, so then LaSalle took a bad penalty right there, and they cross-checked somebody from behind.
Well, Bill, the other thing is it was Richard Stahl that delivered a very clean hit in the center of the ice, and then Brian Evans didn't take too kindly, took down, who else but Richard Stahl. That was shot. It went popped up and high behind the net. Centrella is in there. Back to the point. Borghese, he has the first goal. Another shot saved there by McCabe. St. Joe's Prep looking to convert on their second power play opportunity. TJ, they did it so well, although so quickly we didn't have a ton to analyze.
No, you're right. I think by this time last power play, the puck was already in the net, but you can see they like to work that umbrella, working it through Borghese up at the top.
Borghese back to get it after the face-off win by LaSalle. 13:24 to play. 1:32 on the power play. Centrella send it across. Good pass across the ice. Now a shot from an off-angle. Big save there by McCabe. Had to stay in the play as that was seeking Twine, if not. Now Loginski. Can't control it. Turning back now is Daniel Sambuco. And it's intercepted there. St. Joe's Prep nearly had too many guys on the ice.
Close one there.
Borghese, he's back behind the net. Curls it, looking for help. Badgered there by Sam Lipkin. And great work to find it onto the tape of his teammate. A shot and they score! Andrew Centrella. Through traffic, there wasn't a tip. But there was a screen in front of McCabe, and just like that, St. Joe's Prep has cut the deficit to 1.
So often in these playoff-type hockey games, when you get two hockey teams playing, it comes down to special teams, and there you have it. 2 power plays, 2 goals for St. Joe's, 1-goal hockey game.
2 power plays, 2 power play goals for St. Joe's Prep. When you saw the goaltender Troy Stefano exit for St. Joe's Prep, you thought, boy, perhaps this could be heading a certain way. Daniel McGilly comes in there, makes a few saves in the very first shift that he's into the game with those defense in front of him. And TJ, I think they kind of recognized that, were emboldened by it. And then, of course, the efficiency of that power play was the difference at the end of the first period and now in the early stages of the second. It's 3 for LaSalle, 2 for St. Joe's Prep. A giveaway in a bad spot. Shot from the Explorers, that went off the pipe. Now another shot from an off angle, dropped down there, good tip from Nathan Benner, but couldn't find its way into the net. In the neutral zone, St. Joe's Prep goes down. That was Ben Briskin. Briskin back into the play and taken right down again by the Explorers. And an icing will bring the faceoff into the St. Joe's Prep offensive zone. As we mentioned at the top of the broadcast, a little bit different. At the high school level, LaSalle's going to be able to get a fresh line out there, and I think that's important, TJ, at this point.
Yeah, you can see LaSalle's top line coming out on the ice now. They've been dominant thus far. See if they can have a big shift here. They need to swing that momentum back in their favor.
Yeah, about 85% of the points scored this year by LaSalle has been scored by the top 3 attackmen. Save there by McCabe. Got it up high and was able to stay with it. Lipkin punches it, but not out. Up to the blue line and brought down. We'll get a face-off outside the zone with 11:44 to play. LaSalle 3, St. Joe's Prep 2.
Yeah, we talked about that top line before the game, and I'll tell you what, I'm very impressed with what I'm seeing so far. A lot of zone time when they're out there. If I'm St. Joe's, I need to really key in when they're on the ice. Make sure they're not giving them up too many opportunities.
LaSalle in the white uniform, St. Joe's Prep in the maroons. LaSalle moving from the left to the right as you see it. Sambuco working for possession. St. Joe's Prep dumps it back, and Olajinsky turns on it. Fab Mazzarelli directs it wide. First to it is Sambuco. Sambuco now for Casey. Casey in the middle of the circle takes the shot, a rebound right in front. He'll try it again. Casey's shot is blocked, laying his body on the line. Mark Stahl for St. Joe's Prep. Now up to the blue line, but not out. St. Joe's Prep now able to cross center ice. A line and a fire and a glove save by Aiden McCabe. 11:03 to play, second period. LaSalle 3, St. Joe's Prep 2. And Bill, you see a change in the momentum down there on the ice.
St. Joe's brought in a new goaltender. The boys, you know, they scored that quick power play goal, got another one, and now these guys are right in the game.
That's Bill Kaiser, our third man on the broadcast team, down there on the ice, bringing us a different perspective. We appreciate him being here. Bob Long, TJ Lasig up in the booth. A fight for the puck back behind the net. Ben Briskin is in there for St. Joe's Prep. Such strength on that puck to get rid of it. And now Austin Amato sent back in front, looking for Briskin and plucking it out of midair. Is the goaltender McCabe. Briskin taken down by the LaSalle Explorers. And much like we saw at this very same portion of the ice in the first period, this time LaSalle defending their goaltender, TJ.
Yeah, St. Joe's fans really loving that scrum in front of the net. Couple of hockey teams that probably don't like each other too much, Bob.
That's right. And listen, there's always a respect factor there. When you're watching a game of hockey, listen, they're going to attack the net until they hear the whistle, and the other team is going to take umbrage with it. You kind of dust yourself off, move on to the next one, and it's something that's kind of become an accepted part of the fabric of the great game of hockey.
Sure thing. It's been a physical game, but a clean one.
Brian Evans plays it up the ice. David Bruner. Bruner turns on the afterburners. Got it right in front of the shot, and what a save! Daniel McGill take a bow, and now St. Joe's Prep the other way. Got a 3-on-2 if they hurry. Number 68, Owen Kelly, back behind the net, displaced from the puck. Now along the near side boards. Evans tried to lay a hit. LaSalle does come up with possession. Nearly a giveaway. LaSalle turns it up the ice. A race for it. Bruner will get the first touch. In there as well, number 26, Michael Moresco. Moresco taken down, and now St. Joe's Prep turns it up.
Delayed call on LaSalle here. St. Joe's will go on the power play again.
So the trip of Moresco, and a late hit there. Number 15, Colin Kleiser, was skating down. St. Joe's Prep player was going to the bench. Might have been Corrado. He's still on a knee over there. Bruner goes to the bench. The rest of it, they just separate them and call it a day. 9:53 to go, second period. St. Joe's Prep, TJ, 2 for 2 on the power play. The man advantage has been kind to the boys in maroon.
Very much so. Let's see if third time can be a charm here.
It hasn't taken particularly long either. The snow continuing to pile up on the boards. Borghese plays it back for Cassidy, right in between the circles. It was deflected there and up into the netting. Aiden McCabe had to be good at the point of impact, and he was.
Great play there by St. Joe's, finding the high man in the soft center of the ice, just off the bar.
Got the glove, then perhaps the bar, and up into the netting. Olajinsky plays it around. Borghese, a good pinch. Drop right in front. Cassidy got the shot off, couldn't get it to the net, though. Borghese has been impressive here this evening. Here's Cassidy. And Borghese has it now. Comes to the top of the circle. Sent right across. Over for Cassidy. One more pass to Centrella, Centrella now takes the shot. LaSalle looking for a clearance. And now we got a whistle.
Looks like we'll have some 4-on-4 hockey now.
A hooking called against St. Joe's Prep. And it will be 4-on-4 hockey.
Good job by LaSalle there, blocking shots, getting in the shooting lane. St. Joe's has proved to be very dangerous from the point, particularly on the power play. Got to make sure you get in those lanes. Don't let the puck get through.
Bill Kaiser down on the ice, right next to the guys in the box. Bill, how much time do we have of 4-on-4 hockey?
On the 4-on-4 hockey, I think you got about a minute left.
Minute left to 4-on-4, and then LaSalle can have up to a minute of 5-on-4 hockey. LaSalle with that 3-2 lead, 8:43 to play, second period. And back behind the net, Sambuco pushed it right in front and was taken down for his efforts. Took it into the teeth of that St. Joe's Prep defense. Now flipped high by Owen Moak. Moak will chase it himself. In there as well, number 20, Nicholas Chiampidi. And Chiampidi kind of left the scene. St. Joe's Prep, a shot was deflected and did go wide. First to it now, Matthew Moresco. Punching it back behind the net. Moak is back there. And LaSalle able to control. Colin Kleiser Carries it to the red line. Now into the offensive zone. Sambuco drops it across. Kleiser a shot. Deflected in front. And now another opportunity for Sambuco. He'll carry it across, and now Kleiser. They set up the offensive set. Kleiser drops it down, and they work it around. LaSalle has the opportunity, and they're afforded this because they have the man advantage, or they are soon to have the man advantage as they drop it back. St. Joe's Prep does. And now it is 5-on-4 hockey. Colin Kleiser. The defenseman brings it right in, sent it across the blue paint. Nobody was there. Olajinski follows it back. Kleiser with patience. Now he takes the shot. That one came all the way to the net off a deflection. Save made there by McGill. Michael Casey turns with it. Dropped in front, scrambled for it, and St. Joe's Prep has it now. A good opportunity for LaSalle, and now 5-on-5 we go. Casey on the goal line, dropped off in front. They tried to get the shot off. Good work there by St. Joe's Prep. Casey winds, fires. Save made there by McGill, and he has been good. TJ on that last opportunity at the doorstep, it was Ryan Ferry, the junior, a left-handed stick winder. If he's right-handed, boy, that's being tapped in, and that's how close it can be in this game of hockey.
Yeah, a little bit of a tough spot there. Handcuffed himself a bit. Couldn't get everything on it. Great job by McGill coming in here, leading this St. Joe's Prep in this comeback.
It has totally changed the game. LaSalle dumps it all the way back. Borghese and Centrella, the top line of defensemen for St. Joe's Prep, but a giveaway, and LaSalle content to dump it back. 6:20 to play, second period. St. Joe's Prep, a long pass, finds for Owen Moak. Moak's going to get there first on the far side glass, drops back behind the net, and I think Centrella thought he was going to find himself in the front of the net with the puck on his stick. LaSalle the other way now, turning with it. Andrew Budzinski gets there first, has possession, thought about dropping it off in front. Pretty good recovery by the Prep defense. And now a giveaway. Opportunity in transition. Owen Kelly on the counter. Taken down, a big hit there by Colin Kleiser. Kelly will try it again, this time dropping off for his teammate Borghese. Borghese sends it all the way across through traffic. A shot saved there by McCabe. It's still loose, and McCabe taken down by the flying body of Brady Plord.
Good pressure by St. Joe's here.
Good work by LaSalle on the forecheck. Brandon Lear back behind the net, has the possession, struggling for it, now loses it off his blade. LaSalle going to get it back in the neutral zone. Jan Olajinski couldn't find his intended target. St. Joe's Prep will pump it right back in, and Olajinski will turn on it again. Good speed and skill from Olajinski to the blue line, and Max Levenberg pops it behind the net. Turning on it now, top of the circle. Dropped across, Olajinski. A lot of traffic in front, got it to the front of the net, and St. Joe's Prep able to clear it, but not all the way out, and now a penalty upcoming. And it's going to go against the LaSalle Explorers.
Fans don't seem too happy with that one, Bob.
Ryan Walsh, it was called in the area of what was right by in front of the crease. Looked like a cross-check was called. Again, Olajinski drove hard to the net. There was a defender there, and perhaps that's where it came in there, TJ, the cross-check against the Explorers and Ryan Walsh.
Yeah, I didn't fully catch it, to be honest, but I do know that ideally you don't want to be taking penalties in your offensive zone, so LaSalle really needs to increase the discipline here, stay out of the box.
All right, Bill Kaiser down there on the ice. LaSalle has had to face 3 power plays. They've only killed 1. What do you see here in this 2-minute period?
Yeah, I think LaSalle really needs to get it together, but McGill coming in and changing this whole atmosphere of the game. The St. Joe's Prep is just playing awesome with them behind him. You got to remember, McGill is like 6'4" down here. He's huge in net. And that's a big deterrent against these LaSalle players.
Borghesi's going to get it at the point. Plays it across for Centrella. Good pass to the middle of the ice. Dropped it back off, and a tip took it off the ice. And impossible for Cassidy to bring down. Now a 2-on-1 for the Explorers. Lipkin has Casey a little bit behind him on that pass, TJ.
Close one there. Almost had him.
Giampidi unable to get the shot off. Gets the puck back, though, and wraps it back around the net. A shot from an off angle. It's loose in front, and LaSalle gets the clearance. Casey, a late scramble back to the bench. A turnover and an opportunity for a fresh skater in Daniel Sambuco. Back behind the net, set in front, and McGill scrambles for it. And a great job to cover it up. Boy, I tell you though, TJ, if you're St. Joe's Prep, you got to be careful about those turnovers in the middle of the zone because the long change can be tough. But if you're turning it over in that area, you allow a fresh skater from LaSalle to be right in prime position to take off the other way.
Yeah, and you can see LaSalle having its top line guys out there on the penalty kill as well, generating some offense.
Not a great shot in terms of pace, but certainly a dangerous rebound elicited by Daniel McGill. Now Owen Moak. Didn't get a ton on that shot. Well ridden that time by Daniel Sambuco. Sambuco comes onto the puck. And this is the guy you want to have it if you're LaSalle. Carries it up the ice. Gets by two defenders. Still has it. Shot. Saved there with the blocker by McGill. Up to task once again. 2-on-2 with Sambuco coming back in defense. Moak lets it go. Now an opportunity for Amato. Dropped it off. And a huge save there by Aiden McCabe. Larsonet with the left hand as he slides across the crease. Incredible from the netminder from the Explorers.
Great goaltending on both sides here. Back and forth hockey. Phenomenal saves on both ends.
Boy, Bill, did that look as good from down there as it did up here?
The shot or the save? Because they both were amazing. He just reached his arm out and grabbed it, the goaltender, and I think the shooter was astonished that he didn't score.
Mouth agape as St. Joe's Prep thought they had this game all but tied. Good look at the St. Joe's Prep students section here. Back behind Fab Mazzarelli for the Explorers, and now a look at the St. Joe's Prep bench.
Good crowd here tonight, Bob. A lot of energy, great atmosphere. Good to be here at the Wells Fargo Center.
2:35 to play here in the second period. An ice cut coming up after the second period, and TJ, I think this next 2:35 followed by that ice cut, it really is going to change the game. It's almost like you're watching two different hockey games when you have a fresh sheet out there.
Sure, expect the pace to increase here for the third, for the final 17.
St. Joe's Prep gets a stick on the puck. That's number 6, Mark Stahl, chasing it back behind the net, as is Cassidy. Played to the point, and Chiampidi could not quite keep it in. Brian Evans in there on a foot race, badgering Chiampidi back behind the net. Chiampidi goes down, as does Evans. Pretty good effort that time from the defenseman for the Explorers. This will come up short of icing. Jan Olenjinski somehow finds it onto the stick of his teammate, but I think Lipkin was a little bit on his heels. That does keep itself in the zone, and now turned aside. Fab Mazzarelli brings it right back on. Blocked there by number 26, Matthew Moresco. Now a deflection keeps it in the zone for the time being, and St. Joe's Prep can't find their man. They're going to wave off that icing. Perhaps Olenjinski, TJ labored just the least bit on that one.
Yeah, I think he was looking to draw the icing call there, and the ref wasn't buying it.
Sambuco drops it off. Fab Mazzarelli, an offensive-minded defenseman on the top line. It was a delay offside. And we got a whistle with 1:12 to play. LaSalle 3, St. Joe's Prep 2, a game of runs. LaSalle scored 3 goals in the first 6 minutes of this hockey game. St. Joe's Prep immediately pulls the goaltender, Troy Stefano, brings in Daniel McGill, and he has been nothing short of spectacular, keeping St. Joe's Prep in the game, and then a couple of power play goals for St. Joe's Prep. has been the difference in terms of their attempted comeback. Can they get one more? Nice poke there by number 10 for LaSalle, Zach Baker. Eric Ford goes down. LaSalle working, 2 guys in there. Now a second St. Joe's Prep Hawk, but LaSalle able to pluck it loose. Baker drops it back for Ford. 40 seconds left in this second period. Baker gets to the red line, dumps it down. Nathan Benner going to be the first to get there for LaSalle, but St. Joe's Prep does a great job to nudge him into the wall, but now can't clear. Kleiser, a shot that was directed wide. To the point again. Couldn't get tipped on net. Down to the final 17 seconds. The Explorers turning on it. 2 men run into each other. Kept in at the slot. A shot is blocked down by the defenseman. Out to center ice. Final 5 seconds. LaSalle plays it to the point. Can they get one more look? They do. Save made there by McGill. And that's the end of the second period. 34 minutes in the books. LaSalle still leads 3-2, but it feels a little bit different, TJ, than it did about 6 minutes into this hockey game.
Yeah, definitely. Big timeout by the St. Joe's Coats after that falling down 3-0 early. They've been a different team ever since then, really pushing the pace.
Let's send it down to Bill Kaiser quickly before we go to break. Bill, second period, what'd you see out there, and how do you feel this game is positioned in terms of the final 17 minutes?
Oh, wow. Ever since they pulled St. Joe's pulled that goalie and put McGill in, they changed the atmosphere of the game. The players have played better. But don't forget, LaSalle came out on a mission, and they were high. They were high on a roller coaster, and then LaSalle just had to St. Joe's had to basically just weather the storm. They weathered the storm, then got 2 power play goals. They're right in this game. It can go either way in the third period.
Appreciate Bill Kaiser, all the work he's doing down there on the ice, giving us a different perspective up here in the booth. Bob Long, TJ Lasig up here in the booth. Julian Bellman, our producer here this afternoon, and we'll take a break, come back in just a few minutes after an ice cut for the third and final period of regulation in the 2019 Flyers Cup AAA Final.
Hi, I'm Marty Bystrom, former pitcher for the Philadelphia Phillies. In my experience in Major League Baseball, I know how important it is for high school athletes to gain exposure. My friends at Payroll Service Solutions are huge supporters of high school sports and the Sports Fan Base Network. If you are a small to medium-sized business in need of a payroll company, contact Payroll Service Solutions. Not only will they take care of you, they will continue to support the community. For more information, contact Payroll Service Solutions at 215-624-0922 or 866-PAY-EASY.
Hi, I'm Tommy Green, former pitcher for the Philadelphia Phillies. When I was in high school, it was very important to me to show scouts what I could do. My friends at Payroll Service Solutions are huge supporters of high school sports and the Sports Fan Base Network. If you're a small to medium-sized business in need of a payroll company, contact Payroll Service Solutions. Not only will they take care of you, they will continue to support the community. For more information, contact Payroll Service Solutions at 215-624-0922 or 866-PAY-EASY.
Welcome back inside the broadcast booth here at the Wells Fargo Center. Bob Long, TJ Lasik here for the Flyers Cup AAA final as LaSalle leads 3-2 over St. Joe's Prep. Now, my man TJ Lasik here, while a part-time color commentator, is a full-time assistant coach with the Drexel men's hockey program. And TJ, I want to get your thoughts here as you see Drexel at a very high level there at the college game versus what we've seen here this evening at the Wells Fargo Center. I mean, there got to be guys out there that you're seeing that are ready for that next level of hockey. What are some of the differences that you see between the college level and what you're seeing here tonight?
Yes, sir. Yeah, I mean, I think what we're seeing out here tonight is some good, fast, skilled hockey. When you get up to the college level, I think the biggest difference is probably comes to the size, the age, the maturity of the players. So I'm sure a lot of the kids on this ice will end up playing college at some point. Drexel as an ACHA Division I club team, a lot of the guys from this level end up playing there. Some of them even beyond that in the NCAA levels. But I think I see a lot of speed out here, a lot of skill, very comparable levels of hockey.
This won't be your only time in a big hockey venue this week alone, as the Drexel Dragons had their best season in program history going to the national tournament in Dallas, Texas. I assume you guys are ready and quite looking forward to that one.
Yes, big week ahead here. Be flying down to Dallas on Wednesday and Thursday playing against the University of Oklahoma, number 15 seed in the country. We're coming in as the 18th seed, so it should be a good test. Really the goal here for Drexel as a program is to get our first win at nationals, so that's what we have in mind here. We're going to give it our best shot on Thursday.
That's your color commentator there, TJ Lasik, here at the Flyers Cup AAA final, serving as color commentator here for SFBN. I'm Bob Long. Been a great game thus far, TJ. Break down where we are. 34 minutes of hockey. I feel like we've had wild swings each way.
Yeah, it's been a great game. I think LaSalle came out strong, hard on the forechecks, really dominated the first 5 or so minutes of play, got that 3-0 lead. St. Joe's coach wisely takes a timeout, switches up the momentum a little bit by bringing in a different goaltender, and they've been a different team ever since. They've got a great power play, scored 2 goals there, so if I'm St. Joe's, I'm looking to continue pushing the pace here. I think they really need to be aware when that LaSalle top line is out there, shut them down, and then take advantage when they aren't. They get another opportunity on the power play. I expect them to capitalize.
We mentioned Vincent Borghese before the game, and the fact that he is the defenseman, the leading point scorer for St. Joe's Prep. Andrew Centrella, another guy, a defender who I think has controlled the pace. Those two guys I think have been the difference, their ability to pinch, keep the puck in the zone, extend those offensive possessions for St. Joe's Prep. And again, there are so many strong guys. Evan Cassidy is strong in front of the net. That's kind of been the difference, I think. And, of course, LaSalle getting themselves into trouble, creating those special teams opportunities for St. Joe's Prep.
Yes, been very impressed with Borghese and with Centrella as well. Defenseman that can move the puck, get involved in the play, two-way hockey. I think an offensive defenseman is one of the more dangerous assets you can have on a hockey team.
Bob Long, TJ Lasik up here in the booth. We'll take a break, come back in just a few minutes. From the Wells Fargo Center, the AAA final of the Flyers Cup. Welcome back inside the Wells Fargo Center, beginning of the third period. Bob Long, TJ Lasig. Here your broadcast team, Bill Kaiser, down there on the ice level as LaSalle takes on St. Joseph's Prep. The Explorers with a 3-2 lead over the arch-rival St. Joe's Prep Hawks. Really, the story, TJ, has been LaSalle's lightning quick start, and Daniel McGill, a stopgap of all stopgaps, kind of put that right in the middle of an exploding dam and has stopped the water from protruding. St. Joe's Prep right back in the hockey game with 2 goals of their own on the power play, and now 17 minutes on a fresh sheet of ice to determine it all.
Yeah, I mean, this is what it all comes down to, right? All the practices, all the regular season games, all the workouts. It's all for this 17 minutes. I expect we get the best 17 minutes of the season from both teams here. Really exciting hockey in front of us.
The other thing to keep in mind is that this isn't the end of the road. It's just the road on the eastern side of the state. Penguins Cup occurring on the western side of the state on Tuesday evening. Peters Township and North Allegheny. The winner of this game will take on the winner of that game at Robert Morris University next Saturday, offside on the opening possession of the third period. St. Joe's Prep dressed in the road maroon uniforms, LaSalle in the home whites by virtue of being the number 1 overall seed. As we mentioned at the top of the telecast, St. Joe's Prep, quite a road to get here. Took down the 3 seed Cardinal O'Hara 4-0, and then a really strong number 2 seed Malvern Prep defeated them last Thursday. A shot comes all the way on net. McCabe makes the save. LaSalle, on the other hand, got a bye. The only team to get a bye in the Flyers Cup here in 2019. Then took down a scrappy Holy Ghost Prep team. Here's a 2-on-1 the other way. Dropped it off and they score! Michael Casey to Sam Lipkin, and that's too easy on the counter for the Explorers.
We talked about it in between periods that St. Joe's really needed to take a look at that Lipkin, Casey, Sambuco line, and there you go. First shift. Great play. Headman in the puck up ice by the defenseman. Backdoor pass. Easy goal into an open net. Nothing McGill could have done on that one.
It was the third period where this LaSalle Explorer team came alive against Holy Ghost Prep. They trailed 2-0 after 2 periods of play and then scored 5 times, including twice in the final 30 seconds. Here's another giveaway as the Explorers now lead 4-2 against St. Joe's Prep. Borghese turns with it, and it is cleared out of the zone, and now they'll come up ice. Borghese's pass is intercepted. Turning on it now, Nathan Benner. Benner drops it off. Ford is in there, and Benner back on the puck. Doesn't have any numbers, sent across. Up at the point, Nolan Woodenberg wraps it around back behind the net. Question of whether Keaveney will pinch. He did, but didn't really commit himself, and so St. Joe's Prep able to clear it. Woodenberg back there. St. Joe's Prep gets a change, as does LaSalle. Touched up by Budzinski. Back behind the net. Explorers in there on the forecheck. Good work there by number 17, David Bruner. Bruner got a stick on it. Now Kleiser turns with it in between the circles. Opportunity in front. The shot and a big save. Daniel McGill makes the save on the Bruner shot. Now turning the other way. James Craig. And there is Owen Moak back behind the net. LaSalle clears it into the middle of the zone. Touched forward and chased by number 24, Brian Evans. Back there to get number 22, Michael Urbani. Pinching there was Kleiser, but now Urbani comes back up with the puck, flicked ahead, and to center ice, James Craig. It's directed wide. McCabe back there to whisk it around the back of the net and out of the zone. Richard Stahl flicks it back, still looking for some sort of possession, and now LaSalle able to maintain it, and they're going to work it up the ice. Looking for some tape-to-tape passes that have kind of eluded us here, TJ, in the early stages of the third period. That one sent back, touched up at the red line by Sam Lipkin. St. Joe's Prep now able to clear, but again, right onto the stick of the LaSalle Explorers. Olenjinski. Now they drop it off for Sambuco. Pretty good hip check there by Nicholas Corrado for St. Joe's Prep. And Corrado taken down after the fact. Fab Mazzarelli, they score! Tipped in front, Daniel Sambuco. And the Explorers lead 5-2 with 2 quick ones here in the third. A player for St. Joe's Prep remains down. That looks like Corrado after the Sambuco scrum there. Corrado, a very clean hip check, TJ.
Oh, he says no goal.
Wow. The horn sounded. The play continued. The whistle did not blow,
like
TJ.
Looked like he might have called a high stick.
Oh,
I'm not
okay.
sure. We'll find out.
You know what? That could certainly be. So the stoppage wasn't on the Corrado side. Daniel Sambuco absolutely had a high stick, it looks like. Let's go to Bill Kaiser. Did you see a high stick there as well?
No, I didn't see a high stick. I seen Corrado down on the other side of the ice, and I think that's what happened with St. Joe's. They all were looking at Corrado and waiting for the referee to blow the whistle. But the referee did nulligate the goal right away, said no goal right away. What happens is the horn is from up top, and
Sure.
they see the goal go in, so they blow the horn right away. But the referee right away threw his arms out, no goal, and came right here and told him, no goal, high stick.
Thank you, Bill Kaiser, down there at ice level. TJ, obviously a lot more difficult for us to see from up here, but it did look to me like Sambuco had his stick high. It's just a question of was it above that bar, and certainly you leave that to the discretion of the referees who were there at ice level.
Yep, definitely close there. Must have had the stick above the crossbar. Remains a 2-goal game.
4-2, LaSalle with the lead over St. Joe's Prep, and if you are the St. Joe's Prep Hawks, you get this feeling of new life. 14 minutes to play here in the third period. Again, a 2-goal deficit is not what you want if you're Dave Jockerman, the head coach of St. Joe's Prep, but that 3-goal cushion for LaSalle now turned back to 2, and it does change things. Now Mazzarelli was pinching, Stahl in there, got a stick on it, but now it's back onto the stick of Mazzarelli. Lipkin had the touch-up. Good work there by number 6, Mark Stahl, for St. Joe's Prep to get the clearance. Olajinski undresses one of the attackmen for St. Joe's Prep, but now Stahl right back in the play. And Mazzarelli taken down. Olajinski, he was the one that dipsy-dooed and went in front, but he gives it away in a bad spot. Off-angle shot saved there by McCabe. Olajinski will try it again. And LaSalle builds. Sam Lipkin takes on 3 defenders, drops it off, and that was behind his intended recipient, Nathan Benner. Now Nolan Woodenberg will try it again. Sean Keaveney lifts it high, and on the chase is Vincent Borghese. Borghese gives it away. Good work there by Centrella to come back onto it, but still a fight for St. Joe's Prep to clear this puck. And now they will. This could be an icing. Keaveney back there first. And it will be an icing with 12:45 to play here in the third period.
I think LaSalle kicked up the energy level a bit here in this third period. After playing for Coach Wally for 3-4 years, I'm sure he was not happy with the effort they gave in the second period. Can tell they're coming out with a lot more fire in the third.
LaSalle with the puck along the far side boards. Good work there by Evans. Evans runs into the referee. 2 St. Joe's Prep Hawks are in there as well. And a good work here by Evans, making it difficult, forcing 3 St. Joe's Prep Hawks into the area. Referees ask them to move the puck. And now St. Joe's Prep comes up with a great play by Austin Amato. It's on the stick of Amato right now. Flips it ahead. LaSalle comes back with the puck. It's 2-on-3. Colin Kleiser, full head of steam, back behind the net, center in front, a shot. Might have been saved there by McGill. I think there was a tip as well by the St. Joe's Prep defense. They've been active about getting in there and blocking shots here this evening. Right in front, Casey waits, shoots, and it was blocked again, this time by Michael Urbani. Bad pass across the center of the ice, whisked away by Frank Verratti. And offside, as Sambuco did not quite tip up. TJ, you mentioned a few minutes ago how LaSalle came out with more fire. As a coach yourself, how do you articulate that message to your guys in an intermission where you have that opportunity to really get everybody together?
Sure, sometimes you get off to that early lead, and of course that's great, but then the guys get a little too comfortable, and I think that may have been what happened to LaSalle. It's all about resetting, coming into third as if it's a 0-0 game and bring in just as much effort as you did in the first 5 of the first period.
Good keep there for St. Joe's Prep, but only for a second. They'll send it right back in. And a whistle, and Michael Casey getting into it with number 56, Evan Cassidy. 2 of the top forwards for each team.
Smart of St. Joe's to get into any little things they can after the whistle, try to frustrate LaSalle, try to draw a penalty. I like that approach from their side.
Casey against Cassidy, the 2 guys that just got into it. They'll take the face-off, and LaSalle comes up with it. Turning with it now in his own defensive zone was Olenjinski, and an icing as that hopped over the stick of Sambuco. Offensive zone face-off upcoming for St. Joseph's Prep. Casey and Cassidy still going at it. And they're going to once again take the face-off against one another.
Fun little one-on-one battle to watch there, Bob.
Once again, Casey controls the face-off. Olenjinski. Now Sambuco. Shot from an off angle goes wide. Olenjinski keeps it in at the point. Another shot deflected in front and goes to the sideboards. Turning with it now, number 20, Nicholas Chiampiti. Chiampiti across the red line. He'll take a shot. That'll get on net. Save made, the follow, and a whiff there by number 19, Owen Moak. Stahl pumps it right back in. LaSalle gets 2 new guys onto the ice. A half change for the Explorers as they work it up to the center. Here's Eric Ford. Ford is flanked by number 28, Nathan Benner, and Benner's back behind the net. Ryan Ferry in there with Benner. St. Joe's Prep looking to clear, but they cannot. A shot, didn't have a ton on it, right in front though. Benner's on it, dropped ahead. To the point. Now an opportunity in front. Explorers turn on it. Benner's good stick lift by St. Joe's Prep, and a shot into the gullet of Daniel McGill by Sean Keaveney, the senior defenseman for LaSalle.
Good pressure by LaSalle there. Good job getting pucks through to the net. McGill continues to be strong between the pipes. No rebounds.
Max Levenberg against Mark Stahl in the face-off circle. LaSalle wins the face-off. Kleiser a shot through traffic and a big block there by Stahl. Doing a little bit of everything, taking the face-off and being the first guy out to make that deflection. Now Stahl with the puck into the catching glove of Aiden McCabe, a guy who we haven't said the name of all that much here, TJ, as besides a couple of power play opportunities for St. Joe's Prep, they haven't really had that sustained pressure that David Jacquemin would want.
No, not a ton of action down that end. It shows in the shots. 31-18 in favor of LaSalle. They really need to get some pucks to the net.
LaSalle with the puck at the red line. Pumped ahead, back behind the net. Turning on it now, Vincent Borghese. Borghese plays it back for Centrella. A real bright spot of St. Joe's Prep tonight has been that defensive partnership. Borghese and Centrella have been magnificent. Borghese, really an offensive-minded defenseman. He carries it into the zone. Wines, fires, and what a block there by Kaiser. But it is a penalty coming up against the Explorers of LaSalle. And so this is really the bright spot for St. Joe's Prep. They've scored twice on 4 power play opportunities. Now they get a 5th. Trying to cut this deficit back to 1 with 9:32 to play.
Yeah, this is a big spot here, Bob. Good job by Borghese getting the feet moving up ice there. Draws the hook from LaSalle. Now he gets to take his team to the power play, see if they can capitalize.
The beauty of my job here is I'm here with 2 coaches doing this. Bill Kaiser down there on the ice. So what does St. Joe's Prep have to do with a man advantage here? Still a lot of time to play down by 2.
Yeah, absolutely. What they have to do is just set it up. Set up the umbrella. Get pressure to the net. Get 2 guys in front of the net and get a good shot off. And then they're right back in this game, boys.
And Bill said it, and TJ, you mentioned it in the first period, an opportunity keeping it simple just to get pucks to the net.
That's the key here.
Centrello waits with patience. Now sent across, and a big save there by McCabe. That had eyes for the upper 90 off the stick of Nicholas Corrado. And it's good to see the alternate captain, Nicholas Corrado, back there out on the ice, TJ. He was the one that went down in the defensive zone for St. Joe's Prep after the hip check on Sambuco earlier in the period.
Of course, yeah. Always love to see that. Glad he's okay.
Centrella keeps it in at the point. Corrado, one more shot. Drops it across. Borghese gets it back. Drifts into the slot. Here's a shot that's blocked there by number 8, Eric Ford for LaSalle. Cassidy is out there. Corrado has the puck. Here's Borghese. Centrella, a shot. That one didn't get all the way to net. It was deflected in front by his teammate Michael Urbani. And now LaSalle turns the other way with it. Michael Casey keeps it on the ice. Good first save. They scramble for it in front as Casey went to the ice. And a little bit after the whistle by Nathan Benner. And Cassidy doesn't take too kindly. So now the second time we've seen Cassidy get a little bit mixed up. But I can't particularly blame Evan Cassidy on that particular one, TJ.
No, not at all. I love what I'm seeing on both ends here. Both teams going hard to the net at the opposing goalies. Both teams' defensemen doing what they should be, protecting their goaltender. Love to see that.
Sambuco in the face-off circle. And it's won by St. Joseph's Prep. Out to center ice. Opportunity here as Amato taking off the puck there. Still 5-on-4 for St. Joe's Prep for the next 45 seconds. Well, maybe not.
Not so fast. Looks like we'll have some more 4-on-4 action.
Comes with 43 seconds left on the penalty to Sam Lipkin. And it's the captain, number 20, Nicholas Ciampiti. A holding called there against Ciampiti. Going to have lots of open ice here. And we'll see who that favors. You would normally say that the faster team, TJ, with more open ice is going to have more opportunities, which you would think would be LaSalle, and also they're going to get to their fifth man back on the ice a little bit more quickly. Icing called. So now LaSalle with an ozone face-off with 32 seconds left of 4-on-4 hockey. A 2-goal lead, third period, 8:03 to play.
Final 8 minutes here. We'll have another 30 seconds of 4-on-4. Like you said, a lot of open ice up there. Look for those defensemen to continue to jump up in the play on both sides.
On the last two faceoffs, we've had Colin Kleiser for the LaSalle Explorers flanking our man Bill Kaiser to his left. Sitting at about the blue line, Bill Kaiser, our third man. We'll send it down to him shortly for his thoughts on this 4-on-4 action. But for now, LaSalle comes across the blue line and gives it away. Pumped back in by Matthew Moresco, and that came up short, or it was let go short of the blue, or the red line, I should say. So an icing will bring it back into the offensive zone for LaSalle once again. The other thing here, TJ, is there's a $1.25 left on the penalty to St. Joe's Prep and only 8 for the penalty to Sam Lipkin and LaSalle. 5-on-4 for the Explorers. Time is starting to become an issue as well, as there's 7:40 to play. And LaSalle with that 2-goal lead. Now Lipkin back out onto the ice.
Yeah, if you're St. Joe's, you need to get this penalty kill and then get back on the attack.
And now the Explorers have it back behind the net. Dropped off at the point, didn't have a lot on it. Austin Amato, a great defensive play for St. Joe's Prep. The recognition and then the ability to get his stick on the puck and the strength to extricate it and clear it from the zone. 7 minutes to go here at the Wells Fargo Center, the home of the Philadelphia Flyers and the home of the Flyers Cup Final. The Explorers work with it back behind the net. Michael Casey has it. Was trying to drop it back for Sambuco. Sambuco will now come on. Opportunity for Lipkin. Lipkin turns, fires, and that one just went a bit high and wide of the net. Fab Mazzarelli, LaSalle in no particular hurry. Still 13 seconds left on the power play, and Fab Mazzarelli's shot is saved there by McGill. That's one there where, TJ, it felt like there were a lot of bodies around, but if we can put ourselves directly behind the opposing goal, I think McGill actually had a wide open lane to see that puck from the stick into his chest.
I think so, yeah. Clean line of sight, and with these two good goaltenders here, you need to get traffic. They're not going to get beat on a shot like that straight up.
Richard Stahl, good work to carry the puck 2-on-2. He'll take the shot. It's blockered wide. I think that was heading wide of the net, but McCabe took no chances. Onto the sideboard. St. Joe's Prep looking to clear. LaSalle working hard. Diving for it. A nice play there by Nicholas Ciampiti. Drop back by Zach Baker. They'll work it up the ice. Here's Ryan Ferry playing across for number 28, Nathan Benner. Benner will dish it off the boards, and he'll be there first. Overruns the puck a little bit, and Ciampiti got the stick on it first, and now he's going to be able to turn it, carry it up the ice. St. Joe's Prep needs a goal, trailing by 2, 5:35 to play. They'll dump and get a fresh line onto the ice. Colin Kleiser plays it up the ice. Budzinski plays it ahead. Evans drops off for Budzinski. What a save there by McGill. He continues to keep his team in this hockey game. LaSalle touches up. And number 89, James Craig, turns it back. Centrella gives it away. Rare turnover there for him and St. Joe's Prep. And Centrella, good work to get that puck right back. Craig has it. His shot is off the pad of Aiden McCabe. And out to center ice. 4:47 to play, third period. A 2-goal lead still for LaSalle. And a stoppage on the ice. So, Bill, we promised to send it down to you. 4-on-4, followed by 5-on-4 for LaSalle. And Daniel McGill in net refuses to wither.
Yeah, he's doing a great job, but what St. Joe's is going to have to do is they don't have much time left. You're looking about 4:47 left to go in the game, and St. Joe's got to put something up quick.
Wind and fire. Big-time glove save again from Daniel McGill off the shot from Daniel Sambuco.
I'd like to see St. Joe's try to attack a little bit more off the rush here. They're just kind of getting the red line and chipping the puck in. At this point, you need goals. You gotta try to make some plays here.
Michael Casey can't control the face-off. Shot blockered there and controlled it to the sideboards. McGill having a nice night in net. Just gave up the 1 goal. Casey and Sambuco. Sambuco on the goal line. Good work by McGill once again. St. Joe's Prep looking for the clear. Craig will do so. Just out, though. LaSalle will touch up as it's lifted right back into the zone. Nicholas Corrado plays it back to the captain, Nicholas Ciampiti. Ciampiti raises it high. Fab Mazzarelli has it. Great work there. And he'll nudge it back into the zone, allowing a quick change for LaSalle on the forward side. Michael Casey working in there against James Craig. Moak joins the fight for St. Joe's Prep. And the puck grasped free by LaSalle. They'll carry it into the zone. Back behind the net now, 3:43 to play. LaSalle with possession in the offensive zone, not what St. Joe's Prep needs. Now an opportunity perhaps for Craig, a cross-ice pass behind Moak. Borghese touches it into the zone. He'll await at the point. And it's only Amato on the chase. Good work by LaSalle. This is Eric Ford. Brings it onto his forehand, loses an edge, and it's pumped back behind there by number 22, Ryan Ferry. Now Amato plays it back behind his own defensive net. Andrew Centrella. And another giveaway by St. Joe's Prep as they're trying to build. Vincent Borghese works with Centrella.
You can see LaSalle dropping back into a bit of a trap here, looking to just shut things down in the neutral zone and keep pucks low.
Shot and saved there by Aiden McCabe. Good work by Ben Briskin. The first really good look in a few minutes for St. Joe's Prep offensively. And they're going to need it, TJ. 2:44 to play here in the third period, trailing by those 2 goals. We now turn our eyes to the goaltender, Daniel McGill. When does David Jockeman, I should say, the head coach for St. Joe's Prep, elect to take Daniel McGill to the bench?
Yeah, definitely be keeping an eye there, especially down 2. Typically pull them a little sooner than you would if it's only a 1-goal deficit.
And we got a whistle. Hand pass will take the face-off outside the zone. Bob Long, TJ Lasig, your broadcast team up in the booth. Bill Kaiser down there on the glass. And Julian Bellman, our producer here this evening. The final of 3 games, the AAA game, as LaSalle leads St. Joe's Prep, the winner to the Pennsylvania State Championship against the winner of the Penguins Cup, which will occur on Tuesday night. And then the Pennsylvania State Championship, as McGill's going to have to come back to net. I don't know that he needed to do that. And now it's an icing called against LaSalle. And Sambuco kind of nudges his way into McGill. McGill goes down a little bit easy. And theatrics on all sides, TJ Lasik.
Yeah, I'm not so sure about that one. I think he went down a little easy, but I'm sure he was off balance. And remember here, St. Joe's had to use their timeout 5-6 minutes into the game. So if you're wondering why they're not using their timeout here, they do not have one.
So as I was mentioning, the Pennsylvania State Championship will be next Saturday. Robert Morris University, Peters Township in North Allegheny playing in the Penguins Cup final on Tuesday. And just an unforced error there by St. Joe's Prep. Centrella back there to get it. And a penalty is called. Owen Kelly back behind the play, has to be restrained. Jan Olajinski is kind of waving him goodbye. So, TJ, I don't know that you saw it. It was a little bit behind the play.
Yeah, it looked like a little foul play. Back behind, nowhere near the puck. So if you're LaSalle now, you got to keep in mind you still have another game to play here. Protect yourselves in the next 2 minutes.
Bill Kaiser saw it a little bit better than we did as Kelly now goes to the dressing room. His night is over.
Yeah, what they did was he actually gave him a check from behind. He was skating out, and he kind of cross-checked him in the back. And it was great for LaSalle's players to keep their head because they are moving on. You get suspended today, you can't play next week.
Power play for the Explorers. McGill has to come back to the net, but he'll be very quick to leave as soon as he possibly can. They're going to wave off the icing as it bounced over the LaSalle Explorer stick. McGill back to the bench, the 5th skater now out to the ice for St. Joe's Prep as they are a man down. So 5-on-5 hockey in terms of skaters. Nobody in the net for St. Joe's Prep. LaSalle looking to clear. They have a 2-goal lead. Final minutes of the Flyers Cup final. 2-on-1. Michael Casey tees it up. Sambuco will drop it off. And LaSalle leads 5-2. The nail in the coffin. On their way to the 2019 Flyers Cup Championship.
Great showing by LaSalle tonight. Aside from a couple St. Joe's power plays, really carried play, start to finish. Outshot them 38-21. Minute and a half left here.
And for St. Joe's Prep, the magical ride will end. Struggled this year throughout the regular season, but had an unbelievably difficult schedule in the newly formed 8-pack made up of LaSalle, Holy Ghost Prep, Malvern Prep, and St. Joe's Prep.
Yeah, and they put up a good fight tonight. LaSalle's got a very good team over there, so nothing for St. Joe's to hang their heads about.
Absolutely.
Played a great hockey game.
The 6th seed upsetting the 3 seed and the 2 seed on their way here to the Wells Fargo Center. And unfortunately kind of ran into a buzzsaw in LaSalle and perhaps a team, TJ, that kind of saw their life flash before their eyes against Holy Ghost Prep, trailing 2-0 after 2 periods and trailing 4-3 after all but 30 seconds left in the hockey game. Somehow won that one in regulation. And perhaps that is that key to action that brought LaSalle forward, and they really controlled this thing start to finish.
Yeah, no doubt, and there's no better team bonding experience than to pull off a big comeback win like that. So I'm sure their team chemistry is at an all-time high.
LaSalle looking to clear, and they will. 50 seconds left in the third period. The Explorers a 5-2 lead. McGill back into the net. That's the other thing we have to talk about is how well Daniel McGill played. Gave up just the one goal. Of course, the fifth goal was when he was sitting on the bench with the extra skater on the ice. He was absolutely spectacular in net all year long as that puck finds its way into the penalty box.
Yeah, it's just a great performance for someone that comes into the game and isn't necessarily expecting to get in the net to come in and put on a performance like he did. He should be very proud.
And TJ, a special experience for these players. I know you were part of it, playing here at the Wells Fargo Center for a game like this. Shot saved there by McCabe. Big save with the glove.
Yeah, playing in the Flyers Cup to begin with is an honor and a special opportunity, and for it to be here at the Wells Fargo Center, it's something these kids will remember for the rest of their lives, whether they're on the winning side or the losing side here.
Kleiser plays it back behind the net. LaSalle able to clear. McGill thought about coming out of his net. Now back below the goal line, dropped ahead in front. St. Joe's Prep, good work defensively. Now a line fire, and that one caught a piece of the pipe and ended up in the netting. Ten seconds left here in the third period. The 2019 Flyers Cup final, a triple header that we had for you here on Sports Fan Base Network. And LaSalle is going to win this one. As St. Joe's Prep, Chiampede will pump it up the ice. And LaSalle College High School. Not yet.
Wow.
1 second left.
The fans wanted it. They were ready.
Half the bench was making its way on the ice. I tell you, these officials know how to bring the suspense.
Yeah, I'm surprised they don't just run it here, but I guess they'll have to go through the formality of dropping the puck one last time.
For what it's worth, the faceoff will come in the St. Joe's Prep offensive zone. Final second of action. And the LaSalle College High School Explorers are the 2019 Flyers Cup champions. A convincing 5-2 win over St. Joseph's Prep. And the magical season continues. Up next, the winner of Peters Township and North Allegheny in the Pennsylvania State Championship next Saturday from Robert Morris University. We'll take you to a quick break. We'll have a lot more on the other side. The award ceremony coming up here from the Wells Fargo Center, home of the Philadelphia Flyers and the Flyers Cup. The LaSalle College High School Explorers, the #1 seed in the Flyers Cup this year, take care of business. They didn't quite make it as difficult as they did for themselves at Hatfield Ice on Thursday, controlled things start to finish, and a big win for this Explorer program.
Yeah, I would say really a complete three-period hockey game here from LaSalle. They definitely deserve to win. St. Joe's, great effort on their side too, and I think LaSalle will represent the East well in the state final in the next week or so.
As we mentioned, Peters Township, North Allegheny, the two teams going at it in the Penguins Cup on Tuesday night. But again, for these guys, they got 24 hours to think about this one before they get preparing. And the opportunity to play here at the Wells Fargo Center against your arch rival, if you're either of these teams, has to mean the world for you. I give St. Joe's Prep all the credit in the world. They came out with a game plan that they were prepared on the power play, and they executed very well on the power play. 5-on-5 hockey was controlled by LaSalle. They were able to make that really the difference in this hockey game.
Yeah, I would say they did a good job of taking advantage of their opportunities when they got them. LaSalle just kept coming, and at the end, that firepower was too much for St. Joe's to handle, and LaSalle gets a must-deserved victory here.
Wally Muehlbrunner, the head coach of LaSalle, another Flyers Cup title. And now announcements here down below by our public address announcer as we get to the award ceremony.
Go for it. No, they're looking for you to go.
Now it's time for the presentation of the Toyota All Tournament Team, as selected by the Flyers Cup Committee. First, the floors. From LaSalle, Daniel Sabuco. St. Joe's Prep, Owen Moak. From LaSalle, Sam Lipkin. Now the bench from LaSalle, Jim Oleginski. And from St. Joe's Prep, Nicholas CMP. Goaltender from LaSalle, Ian McCabe. Now the 2019 Flyers Cup AAA leading scorer from LaSalle, Michael Casey. Now the Bobby Clark Award goes to 2019 Flyers Cup AAA goes to Diamond player from LaSalle, Michael Casey. And finally, presentation of the Flyers Cup to the captains of the LaSalle Explorer. Captains, go get your cup.
The LaSalle Explorers celebrate with the Flyers Cup trophy. Bob Long, TJ Lasik back up here in the booth. TJ, walk our viewers through. What's that like? What is that feeling to come down here and then raise the cup after a season of hard work?
There's not a better feeling in the world, I'll tell you what. You work hard all season. I worked hard for 4 years to get to that moment, and when you finally get that cup in your hands and get to raise it up, all your friends and family around you, it's a very special moment. Very excited for all these guys.
And this year it is the LaSalle Explorers that win that. The Flyers Cup comes back to Winmore, Pennsylvania. Bill Kaiser has more.
Hey guys, great game here today. LaSalle definitely came out and showed they were the better team. LaSalle, what they did was they didn't do what they did against Holy Ghost. They came out today with an agenda. They came out today and they worked hard for the whole 17 minutes each period. Ladies and gentlemen, these guys are unbelievable. I wish them well. And Robert Morris in Pittsburgh, let's bring home that trophy, boys.
Bill Kaiser speaking on behalf of the East in general, imploring the LaSalle Explorers to go out and get that Pennsylvania State Championship. I'll say this, TJ, it's going to be tough for whoever they play, Peters Township or North Allegheny. It's a very disciplined team, a very talented team, and the thing that jumps off the page more than anything is the speed.
Yeah, once you get to that state final game, it's a whole other animal. You're playing against a team you haven't seen before, I'm assuming, and a team that's going to play at a high pace, high level of skill. I'm sure it'll be a good test for LaSalle. Wish them all the best.
What a night, what a game, what a venue. The Wells Fargo Center, the home of the Philadelphia Flyers. How better to find out who's the best team in high school hockey, and two tremendous programs that were out there on the ice here tonight. Many thanks to Ari Bluestein at SFBN for putting this together, providing this opportunity to come out and do this, and of course to put it through to the many homes of the folks that have been watching here all evening long. TJ Lasig, my color commentator, thank you so much for being here. You did a tremendous job. The assistant coach of Drexel Hockey, we wish him luck as he heads down to Dallas, Texas for the ACHA D1 National Tournament.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Bob. Appreciate it. Had
Bill,
a lot of fun.
I appreciate you. Bill Kaiser did a tremendous job down there on the ice. Julian Bellman, an unbelievable producer this evening. And for all of our team here at SFBN, I'm Bob Long saying so long from the Wells Fargo Center. The LaSalle Explorers are the 2019 Flyers Cup champions.